Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Satasri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. It is a great honor and privilege and pleasure to be with you all on the auspicious occasion of Sri Radhastami, the appearance day of Srimati Radharani, who is the pleasure potency of Lord Krishna. Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead and the absolute truth, the source from whom everything emanates. And his emanations come in two categories, in many categories, but two important ones are his personal expansions, who are in the category of Vishnu Tattva, and his energies, who are in the category of Shakti Tattva. So the first expansion of Krishna on the side of Shaktiman, the possessor of the Shaktis, is Balaram. And the first expansion on the side of his energy is Srimati Radharani. And all of the other energies, all of the gopis in Vrindavan, all of the queens in Dwarka, all of the Lakshmis in Vaikuntha, they are all expanded from Srimati Radharani. So today I will read a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Pure Devotional Service, Text 23. For the sake of time, we won't be able to chant all the words responsively, but we can recite the verse once or twice and then proceed. Jivan chavo bhagavatam grirenum na jatu martyo bilabeta yastu. Shri Vishnu Padya Manujastu Lasya Svasan chavoyastu na veda gandam. Jivan chavo bhagavatang grirenum. Najatumartyo bilabeta yastu. Shri Vishnupadya manujastu lasya. Shvasan chavoyastu na veda gandam. Translation. The person who has not at any time received the dust of the feet of the Lord's pure devotee upon his head is certainly a dead body. And the person who has never experienced the aroma of the tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of the Lord is also a dead body, although breathing. Please repeat. The person who has not at any time received the dust of the feet of the Lord's pure devotee upon his head is certainly a dead body. And the person who has never experienced the aroma of the tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of the Lord is also a dead body, although breathing. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the breathing dead body is a ghost. When a man dies, he is called dead. But when he again appears in a subtle form, not visible to our present vision, and yet acts, such a dead body is called a ghost. How many of you believe in the existence of ghosts? Ghosts are always very bad elements, always creating a fearful situation for others. Similarly, the ghost-like non-devotees who have no respect for the pure devotees, nor for the Vishnu deity in the temples, create a fearful situation for the devotees at all times. The Lord never accepts any offerings by such impure ghosts. There is a common saying that one should first love the dog of the beloved before one shows any loving sentiments for the beloved. The stage of pure devotion is attained by sincerely serving a pure devotee of the Lord. The first condition of devotional service to the Lord is therefore to be a servant of a pure devotee. And this condition is fulfilled by the statement, reception of the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee who has also served another pure devotee. This is the way of pure disciplic succession or devotional parampara. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Mahatmanas tumam partha daivim prakriti ashrita. That the great souls, or Mahatmas, have taken shelter of the divine energy. And the divine energy is originally Srimati Radharani. In other words, all of the pure devotees have taken shelter of Srimati Radharani through the parampara system. Each one has taken shelter of a pure devotee, who in turn has taken shelter of another pure devotee, who in turn has taken shelter of another pure devotee. And ultimately, all of them are under the Daivi Prakriti, the divine energy, or Srimati Radharani. And this is the only way that one can gain access to pure devotional service. Srila Prabhupada explains that pure devotional service is executed completely in the jurisdiction of the spiritual energy or divine energy, or under the superintendence of Srimati Radharani. And therefore, to engage in devotional service, one must come under the influence of the divine energy, which is achieved by serving a pure devotee or pure devotees who themselves are under the divine energy through the parampara process. Continuing the purport. Maharaj Rahugana inquired from the great saint Jad Bharat as to how he had attained such a liberated stage of a Paramahansa. And in answer, the great saint replied as follows. Srimad Bhagavatam 5:12-12. Rahuganaita tapasanayati na che jaya nirvapanad grahadva na chandasanaiva jalagni suryair vina mahatpadarajobhishekam. Quote, O King Rahugana, the perfectional stage of devotional service, or the Paramahansa stage of life, cannot be attained unless one is blessed by the dust of the feet of great devotees. It is never attained by tapasya, austerity, the Vedic worshipping process, acceptance of the renounced order of life, the discharge of the duties of household life, the chanting of the Vedic hymns, or the performance of penances in the hot sun, within cold water, or before the blazing fire. End quote. In other words, Lord Sri Krishna is the property of his pure, unconditional devotees. And as such, only the devotees can deliver Krishna to another devotee. Krishna is never obtainable directly. On this point, that Lord Sri Krishna is the property of his pure unconditional devotees, and as such, only the devotees can deliver Krishna to another devotee. Srila Prabhupada demonstrated this principle very vividly in an incident in Madras. Srila Prabhupada had been invited by the Chief Justice of the High Court to address a large gathering in an open field of High Court justices and advocates and so on. And after the program, the Chief Justice invited Srila Prabhupada and the devotees to his home. At the home of the Chief Justice, the Chief Justice presented Srila Prabhupada, among other things, a beautiful silver statue of Krishna. Now, in his talk at the program, Srila Prabhupada had spoken about the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Tyaktya Tornam Ashesha Mandala Pati Shrenim Sada Tuchavat. They kicked off all association of aristocracy as insignificant to join the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in the same vein, Srila Prabhupada was appealing to all the learned and aristocratic and influential members of the judicial system and others to join the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, in the Chief Justice's home, Srila Prabhupada received this statue of Krishna, and one of the devotees present was about 3 or 4 years old. Her name was Saraswati, and she was the daughter of Srila Prabhupada's secretary Shamsundar and his wife Malati. So there were a group of devotees, and Srila Prabhupada held this little deity of Krishna in front of Saraswati. And Saraswati became, very attracted to that form of Krishna. And then Srila Prabhupada slowly moved the statue, and Saraswati's eyes were following Krishna. And then suddenly Prabhupada hid Krishna behind his back. And Saraswati didn't know where Krishna was. So Srila Prabhupada, who was very expert at engaging all sorts of people, including children, said, Saraswati, where is Krishna? And Saraswati became so anxious that where is Krishna? She was looking everywhere. Where is Krishna? She was looking all over the room, looking at the different devotees, walking around, but she couldn't find Krishna. So again, Srila Prabhupada said, Saraswati, where is Krishna? And again, she became filled with anxiety. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? How to find Krishna? But she couldn't find him. And she was very distressed, very distressed. So then Malati said, Saraswati, who has Krishna? And immediately Saraswati's face lit up and her eyes opened wide in recognition, and she said, Prabhupada has Krishna. And then she looked toward Prabhupada and ran up to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada slowly took the statue of Krishna out from behind his back and held it in front of Saraswati. So in this way, he demonstrated that principle that Lord Sri Krishna is the property of the pure devotee, and only he can give Krishna to another devotee. And he also engaged Saraswati to exhibit or demonstrate this important principle of separation, the mood of separation. And that was also the mood of the 6 Goswamis. Hey Radhe Vrajadevi Ke Chalalite, Hey Nanda Sudo Kutaha. That the 6 Goswamis were always wandering all over Vrindavan, shouting very loudly, Hey Radhe Vrajadevi Ke, O Radharani, Queen of Vrindavan. Hey Radhe Vrajadevi Ke Chalalite and Lalita. Hey Nanda Suno Kuta, O son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you? Are you on the banks of the Yamuna, or are you at Govardhan Hill? These were their moods in executing Krishna consciousness. So we also have to develop that eagerness. And that eagerness, that feeling of separation is possible when we have some attachment. Otherwise, we won't feel separation. I mean, we all have experience of being attached to something material and then losing it. And then we think about it all the time. In fact, Sri Krishna himself gives the example that if a poor man with great difficulty acquires some wealth, and then he loses that wealth, he'll be thinking of that wealth all the time, what he lost, because of attachment. So when we develop some attachment for Krishna, we can begin to feel separation. And generally that begins by developing attachment for Krishna's devotees, who direct us how to approach Krishna and who accept our love on behalf of Krishna. Once here in New Dwarka, it was the custom that when Srila Prabhupada would come from his morning walk, he would walk up to the temple room stairs and come into the temple to greet the deities. And the devotees would stand on either side and offer him flowers. So one of the disciples commented to Srila Prabhupada that, oh, Srila Prabhupada, the devotees are so attracted to you. They have so much love for you. And Srila Prabhupada replied, that is how Krishna is tricking them. In other words, in Srila Prabhupada's humble mood of the servant, he was attributing that attraction to Krishna. And that Krishna was manifesting himself through Srila Prabhupada to attract the devotees ultimately to Krishna, or Radhan Krishna. Lord Sri Krishna is the property of his pure, unconditional devotees, and as such, only the devotees can deliver Krishna to another devotee. Krishna is never obtainable directly. Lord Chaitanya therefore designated himself as Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Dasa Das Anudasa, or the most obedient servant of the servants of the Lord, who maintains the Gopi damsels at Vrindavan. A pure devotee therefore never approaches the Lord directly, but tries to please the servant of the Lord's servants. And thus the Lord becomes pleased. And only then can the devotee relish the taste of the tulsi leaves stuck to his lotus feet. In other words, by serving the lotus feet of a pure devotee, one is ultimately able to approach the lotus feet of Krishna, Radha and Krishna. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the Lord is never to be found by becoming a great scholar of the Vedic literatures, Vedeshu Durlabha, but he is very easily approachable through his pure devotee, Vedeshu Durlabha, Adurlabha Atma Bhakto. In Vrindavan, all the pure devotees pray for the mercy of Srimati Radharani, the pleasure potency of Lord Krishna. Srimati Radharani is a tender-hearted feminine counterpart of the Supreme Whole, resembling the perfectional stage of the worldly feminine nature. So the Supreme Whole is Radha Krishna. And in that complete whole, Krishna not represents, but manifests the male's nature. Of course, we're talking on the spiritual platform. We're not talking about hormones and things that we have in our material bodies. But he's the absolute truth. The material world is just an inverted reflection of the spiritual world. So everything exists there originally in its pure form. So Krishna is like the male, and Srimati Radharani is the female. And she's the tender-hearted, feminine counterpart of Krishna. And so generally, the perfectional stage of the womanly nature is manifest in the woman's tender-heartedness, soft-heartedness. In the Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada explains that because Krishna is the Supreme Lord, it's very difficult to approach him. But Srimati Radharani is, represents the compassionate side of Krishna. And therefore, devotees approach Radharani first, and they approach Krishna through Srimati Radharani because of her soft-hearted, compassionate nature. In Vrindavan, all the pure devotees pray for the mercy of Srimati Radharani, the pleasure potency of Lord Krishna. Srimati Radharani is a tender-hearted feminine counterpart of the Supreme Whole, resembling the perfectional stage of the worldly feminine nature. Therefore, the mercy of Radharani is available very readily to the sincere devotees. And once she recommends such a devotee to Lord Krishna, the Lord at once accepts the devotee's admittance into his association. So this is really the secret of success to be recommended by Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani, along with her many other attributes, is a Mahabhagavata. And the nature of the Mahabhagavata is that he or she sees that everyone is serving Krishna better than himself, or sees that everyone else is serving Krishna except himself. So that is Srimati Radharani's vision. She sees, oh, Krishna, this devotee is serving you so nicely, much better than I serve you. You should accept this devotee. And when Srimati Radharani recommends a devotee to Krishna, Krishna accepts. Just 2 days ago, we observed Lalita Shasti, which is the appearance day of Srimati Lalita Devi. And in the Lalita Astakam by Srila Rupa Goswami, he mentions that Lalita Devi is always roaming around Vraja looking for young girls to recruit them or enlist them or bring them to Srimati Radharani. So this is like parampara. There's also parampara in the spiritual world. That the devotee of Srimati Radharani brings the new devotee to serve Srimati Radharani and Krishna. The conclusion is, therefore, that one should be more serious about seeking the mercy of the devotee than that of the Lord directly. And by one's doing so, by the goodwill of the devotee, the natural attraction for the service of the Lord will be revived. So, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunai, that love for Krishna is eternally established within the heart. It does not have to be brought from some other source. And Shuddha Chitte, by hearing talks of Krishna in the association of pure devotees, that dormant love for Krishna, karaye udai, awakens, or becomes manifest. So that is the process. In the Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna describes different processes of devotional service in the 12th chapter. And one is spontaneous devotional service, in which one is naturally attracted to Krishna. But Krishna says if one is not spontaneously attracted to him, one should follow the rules and regulations of Bhakti Yoga, for by doing so, one will develop a desire to attain him. So this process of regulated devotional service that Srila Prabhupada has established in all of his temples is essential. And by these practices, we develop a desire for Krishna, attraction for Krishna. And by especially chanting the holy names and serving the devotees, we can make progress in Krishna consciousness. Another great facility that we have is that Krishna himself came in the mood of Srimati Radharani as who? Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, but in the mood of Radharani. So his heart is also melting with love and compassion for the fallen souls. And he really made it a point to deliver all sorts of fallen souls, no matter how fallen and degraded they were. He was ready to bestow the mercy of the holy name and ultimately love of Godhead on all of them. And Srila Prabhupada was also fully in that mood. And when we also take up that mood of extending Krishna's mercy, Radharani's mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, the Parampara's mercy to the fallen souls, including ourselves, we get more mercy. They become more pleased, and their eagerness to reciprocate with us and, if you will, reward us, reciprocate with us, their eagerness increases. So Srila Prabhupada has really given us every facility, the instructions in the science of Bhakti Yoga, the temples in which the principles of Bhakti Yoga are applied regularly on a systematic basis, daily, and the opportunity to serve Guru and Gauranga by spreading the Sankirtan movement. So we should take full advantage. Hare Krishna. So we have a few minutes. Does anyone have any questions or maybe better yet, any comments, any insights, any realizations or revelations? Yes, sir. Oh, you got two.
My question is, so first, by serving Srimati Radharani, does it happen that one becomes like slightly more pure, and then he can become eligible to serve Lord Krishna, or Srimati Radharani recommends just like humans recommend? So in the same way, she actually recommends.
Yes, it's true that she recommends out of her generous nature, but who will go to Radharani to be recommended to Krishna? There are thousands and millions of people loitering in the street or racing on the highways. How many of them are approaching Radharani for her mercy? To approach her for her mercy presupposes that you have a desire to serve her and Krishna. That means there must be purity of heart. That when the heart is contaminated, we want everyone to serve us. It's only when the heart becomes purified that we want to serve Radha and Krishna and their devotees. So she will recommend them, but it's not that they that she recommends people who have polluted hearts who want to be God or take the place of God. She recommends people who have some desire to serve. Hare Krishna. Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna. I just had a question. I've heard that also Lord Shiva is the best devotee. So how can we understand that Srimati Radharani is also the best devotee and Lord Shiva is the best devotee? I think I've even heard that someone say that Narada Muni is the best devotee. So how can we understand that?
Well, there are many best devotees because in a mood of love and appreciation, one will feel he's the best devotee. Many times Srila Prabhupada would visit temple and say, these are the most beautiful deities. And when he was looking at those deities, he was seeing they're the most beautiful. In fact, the gopis, Radharani and the gopis, when they look at Krishna, because of their anurag, their advanced Krishna consciousness, every time they look at him, not every time they look at him, every moment he looks different. It's like he's revealing features of himself that they've never seen before. It's like so beautiful. So, but still, that verse you referred to, Vaishnavinam Yata Shambhu, among devotees, Lord Shiva is the greatest. That could refer to within the material world, because the same verse also says that among rivers, the Ganges is the best. But actually, the Yamuna is the best. So, but it's very good to get the mercy of Lord Shiva. There's a deity of Lord Shiva in Vrindavan, Gopeshwar Mahadev. And by the mercy of Lord Shiva, one can approach Radha and Krishna. So, yeah, we don't want to we want to appreciate all the devotees, all the pure devotees, and beg for their mercy. But still, if we were really analyzing, there's no doubt that Srimati Radharani is the best. But yes, Bhrigupati Prabhu.
Thank you, Maharaj. Is it appropriate to chant Radharani's name in Kirtan other than how it appears in the Hare Krishna mantra?
Appropriate to whom and appropriate for whom?
Well, did Prabhupada approve of it?
I don't know if the question ever came up to Srila Prabhupada. I mean, it is included in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, as you said. And Prabhupada did sing Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya. So, but I would say in the wild exuberance of Radhastami, it would be condoned, at least. But we're in a sort of delicate area between the spiritual and the managerial. I think it's safe to chant the Maha Mantra and focus more on the Maha Mantra. But I wouldn't say, I mean, to be perfectly honest, when Srila Prabhupada was in Juhu, there was a group of kirtaniers called the Radha Madhava Prem Shuddha Kirtan Mandali. And Srila Prabhupada's staunch devotee, P.L. Sethi, was part of that group. And that group had a guru in Vrindavan. They were householders. And every month, at least, they would meet at one of the householders' homes. And for 12 hours, they would do continuous Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan. And then for 2 hours they would sing songs from Vrindavan. So Mr. Sethi had the idea that instead of doing it at some Grihasta's home, they could come and do it in Juhu. And this was in 1977, when Srila Prabhupada was quite ill. So they came, and they did it. 12 hours, continuous Hare Krishna Kirtan. And because of Srila Prabhupada's weak health, and we didn't really have the elevators working then, the building wasn't completely ready. So Srila Prabhupada was sort of, you could say, confined to the top floor, overlooking the little temple where the group was having kirtan. And at the end, it was like considered the highlight in those songs from Vraj. One lady would sing this song that has the refrain, Radhe, 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 Jai, 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 Shri Radhe. And when she was singing that, Srila Prabhupada had tears streaming down his cheeks upstairs. He was listening. So we do have that precedent. But it wasn't, even within that group, it wasn't, in terms of time, it wasn't a major portion of the time they spent. Definitely the most time was spent chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but it was included. And Srila Prabhupada's emotions became, his heart became influenced hearing that song. Thank you. Yes, Revati?
We have compassion for someone who does not have that mood, but they're suffering. Can we pray to Srimati Radharani to help them, even though we know they may not understand that they should want to serve Krishna?
Of course. Yes. That's the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is willing to extend mercy to anyone and everyone. And that is Radharani's mood. And that's good that we pray for others. All right, so thank you very much. The program will continue. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Prabhupada ki Jai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.